Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am Transparently D, where I'm keeping it 100% transparent as we extend our family with love through CNY fertility. Good morning, fam. How are you doing? How is your week going? How's everything been going for you? So I am going to try my best to get through this video. As you can see back there in the mirror, we have Miss Skylar Rain in the car. If she cries, I'm gonna have to stop and give her her bottle because she didn't want to eat this morning. Because girlfriend woke up and didn't want to go back to sleep this morning, so she ate. Anywho, all right. So this is just an update. Today is Friday, and Miss Skylar Rain is 15 weeks. And I wanted to come to you all and just talk to you all about what's been going on, what I've experienced postpartum, why I stopped drinking the tea to help make my breast pump, and where I am now. So, postpartum, I got real depressed. Like, I had postpartum depression really bad. And there she is. Now, mind you, before I came on here, I tried to give her her bottle. And she didn't want it. So I don't know if she wants the actual breastfeed or what, but hold on. Let me see if she'll take it now. What is it? What is it? What is it? Uh-oh. What's going on? You just wanted to see mommy? I'm right here. Hey, girl. Hey. How you smiling for, a good friend? Now you want to take your bottle? You smell like you pooped. Did you poop? Yes. Oh my God. Here, put your arm on. You can hold it. You can hold it. Put your hand on it. You're such a good baby. You're a good baby. Okay? All right. Good girl. All right, y'all. I'm back. Okay. Let me get back in traffic here. Sorry, y'all, my eyes itching. Okay. Postpartum, I was very depressed. I don't know if I got depressed because I had to have a C-section, or if I got depressed because I was in the ICU. I don't know if I told y'all that. I think I did tell y'all that. I went into what's called supraventricular tachycardia, where your heart is just beating too fast. That's basically what it means. So they had taken me to the recovery room, and I was waiting on them to bring me the baby. And suddenly the nurse came in, and she's like, "Are you feeling okay?" I said, "Yeah, I feel fine." And they had me on the heart monitor because the cardiologist would not let me have a vaginal birth, and she would not let them do the external version on me. So they had me on a heart monitor the entire time. And so she said, "Okay, well, your heart is like racing." And I was like, "I don't feel it." Typically when your heart is beating like that, you can feel it. And I was like, "I don't feel it beating at all." And she's like, "Well, it is. It's like sustaining at 150. And I was like, 150? And then she's like, "Yeah, 150, 180. It's just like staying there." And so then more nurses came in. And mind you, now I'm on a postpartum floor. I love all nurses. All nurses are excellent. All of us went to school. All of us got our certifications and you know, are doing what we love to do. But a cardiac event on a postpartum floor gives panic to everyone, because that's not something that they deal with on a daily basis. So to me, as a trauma nurse, I'm like, okay, it may be sustaining at 180, but I'm asymptomatic, which means I'm not having any symptoms to it, which means that it's benign, which means there's really nothing that really truly needs to be done. And this is my mindset while I'm going through this. But I'm talking about this, everybody in my room. Steven had left to go to, I don't know where he went. I don't know where he was. I don't know. I don't remember where Steven was, but I know he had left because only my kids was there. And they brought in this cardiologist. And the cardiologist is like, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to give you a medication called adenosine. And so I immediately, that's the face I made. No, you're not going to give me adenosine. Are you kidding me? I'm not taking adenosine. No, ma'am. And then she says, well, do you even know what adenosine is? I said, well, I've been a trauma nurse for 17 years. I hope that I know what adenosine is. And then she's like, oh, she's a nurse. So she turns to the other nurses. And she's like, oh, she's a nurse? You guys didn't tell me that she's a nurse. And they was like, we didn't know. She just got in here or whatever. And so I was like, whether I'm a nurse or not, I'm not doing adenosine. And she was like, well, why don't you want to take the adenosine? I said, because you feel horrible when you're coming up out of it. And she was like, yeah, you do. And I was like, yeah, I know. I give it all the time. Okay, so then she says, okay, well, we'll just do an external version. Now, that is where they put you on the shock machine. You know how you see on TV, clear, and then they shock the body and they come back alive or whatever. That's really not what we do. That's really not how that works. But that's TV. But the same theory. Use that theory in your mind for this. So I said, wait a minute. I said, you went from 10 to 10. Adenosine and giving me an external version is the same it's on the same level. You on 10. I am asymptomatic with it. I need you to come down to like a 4 because you're on 10 here, and so she's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, you need to start with something else first. First of all, I'm asymptomatic with it. So the number one thing I need for you to do is try some metoprolol. Metoprolol is a beta blocker, okay? A lot of people take metoprolol as a blood pressure medication. That is not what that medication was created for. It's actually created to slow the heart rate. A side effect of metoprolol is that it lowers your blood pressure. I said, you need to give me metoprolol IV, see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then we'll go from there. So now, by this time, they done called ICU already. Hold on, y'all, I gotta fix her bottle. The life of a mom. Okay, so I said, you need to give me metoprolol IV. See if that slows the heart rate, and then we'll go from there. But they had already called ICU, so they was already in the midst of transferring me over to the intensive care unit. They gave me the metoprolol, and it did slow it down some, but it didn't slow it down a lot. It took it from like 150s, 180s to like 120s, 130s. Which is still too high. But mind you, during this time, I'm still completely asymptomatic with it. I'm not having no symptoms at all. Typical symptoms that you'll have with supraventricular tachycardia is sweating, nausea, vomiting, palpitations, confusions, lethargy. Those are some of the signs and symptoms that you'll have with supraventricular tachycardia. I had none of those. So while I'm sitting there, I'm like, can y'all gonna bring me my baby, or what y'all doing? And she was like, oh no, we're gonna take you to the ICU. What? What do you mean? And she's like, yeah, we need to take you to the ICU, and because we can't handle you here and this, that, and other. So of course I called Steve, and he came back, and they took me over to the intensive care unit, where I remained for 3 days. And they were still, oh, you need the adenosine. Oh, why don't you want to take the adenosine? You need to take the adenosine, cardioversion, da-da-da-da. I said, listen to me. Number one, we don't even know what the underlying rhythm is. I have premature atrial contractions. So we need to, number one, find out what the underlying rhythm is. The rhythm is too fast for us to determine what the other underlying rhythm is. If you shock me and my underlying rhythm is not sinus rhythm, you'll kill me. And I am not going to let you kill me. Period. So they said, okay, so what you want to do? I said, give me cardizem. Give me cardizem. Cardizem is another drug that causes the heart to slow down. I say, bolus me with cardizem, and let's see what happens from there. So they gave me the bolus of cardizem. It did slow my heart down, and my underlying rhythm looked like AFib. But if you're not trained, then it'll look like AFib, but it's not afibrillation. It is premature atrial contractions. But on the monitor, I agree, it does look like AFib. AFib means that your atrial, it's like your heart is just twitching, and every now and again it'll pump. So it'll twitch and pump. The problem with that is you have no P wave. P is the initial shock that comes from the top of your heart to the bottom of the heart and makes the bottom of the heart pump or whatever. So there's no P waves with atrial fibrillation. Okay, I had P waves. So then they said I was in AFib RVR, because to them my rhythm looked like AFib. And so they put me on a cardizem drip, kept me in the ICU, and that's when I was telling y'all they wouldn't bring me the baby, and I couldn't see her, and I had to end up getting my classmate to come in and make some arrangements or whatever so I could see her more or whatever. And then she was like, well, we can give you flecainide. I said, yeah, give me flecainide. You know, I had told her 2 days ago to give me flecainide. Flecainide is a pill, and it can bring you out of arrhythmias. Arrhythmia is an irregular heart rhythm. And so then she came back. The same cardiologist was seeing me the whole while I was in the unit. And so the cardiologist finally said, okay, yeah, give it a flecainide. So they gave me flecainide, and it was like, you should come out of this in 2 hours. If you don't come out of this in 2 hours, then, we're going to have to really talk about the adenosine. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Just give me the flecainide. So they gave me 30 milligrams of flecainide. And 2 hours came and went, and I was still in the same rhythm. I was still asymptomatic. I'm talking about like the next day after I had her with the C-section and everything, I got up out of the bed on my own. I was standing at the sink. I was bathing myself at the sink. Of course, they wouldn't let me get in the tub, but that's fine. I was bathing myself at the sink, and I cleaned up my own mess, and the CNA was like, well, I can help you. Let me help you. I was like, no, I'm good. I can bathe myself. I think I'm okay, And she was like, well, I'm just going to stand here just in case. I said, okay, you can stand there, but I'm good. Let me just, bathe myself. And I bathed myself up and everything. I was walking around the room and getting up and turning and moving and everything. The pain wasn't as bad as I thought that it would be at all. It really wasn't. Long story short, they took the flecainide. I'm still asymptomatic. At hour 3, I converted over to sinus rhythm. And they took me over to mother baby, and I was able to be with my daughter. So for me, that was a lot. And I was mad depressed. Like, I was really depressed. Not so much the postpartum where you want to, kill everybody. You want to kill yourself, you want to kill the baby and stuff. I didn't have any of that. But I was depressed. I was down. I was sad. Even after we came home, I can remember when I was in the delivery room when they was telling me I had to have a C-section. I told Steven, I was like, I don't think I love her. You know. And he was like, what you mean? I was like, I don't think I love Skylar. I don't think that I love her. You know, I'm going through so much for her, and I don't think I love her. And I don't think that I didn't love her in my heart. I felt like I didn't love her because I wasn't willing to do a C-section to have her. You know, in my mind, it was like, Skylar Rain. In my mind, it was like, if you love her so much, then you would do anything for her. You know, you would do anything to have her, you know, as long as she's safe. Skylar, don't pull your headband off, girlfriend. Oh, by the way, I didn't even tell y'all where I'm going. We're taking her to daycare. Yes, I put her in daycare. That's another thing too. Oh God, so much is going on. I can't feel her. Okay, that's dangerous. Anyway, okay, she's pulled her head over her eyes. Literally, when I take her to the daycare, I have to stop like 3 and 4 times. Okay, so I was just sad. I was very depressed. I was just really depressed. I just felt that way, that I felt like if I loved her, I would do anything to get her out, you know. But that's what I meant by that. But I was just so sad. Like, even at home, I was sad. I was just crying all the time. I didn't feel like I had a good grip on my emotions at all. And you all know that I switched my career to nurse case manager so that I could be at home with her. That too was not the best decision for me. As far as my career goes, that had me so sad and depressed. My career had me so sad and depressed. Like, I felt like I was like wasting time and energy. Like, I wasn't helping anyone. That's kind of how I felt. You know, I needed to be at the bedside. Stop number 3. One moment. Okay, girlfriend. First of all, you pulled your head scarf off. You pulled your head thingy off. I know you want your pamper changed. Listen to me. Can we talk for a second? Let's talk. I know that you want your pamper changed. I know that you hate that, and I am very sorry. But if you give me, don't laugh at me, girlfriend. Don't laugh at me, girlfriend. If you give me just like 15 minutes to get you to the daycare, I promise you will change. I promise you will change. Why are you laughing at me, girl? Here. Where's your bottle? Are you done with it? No, girlfriend, it's breast milk. You better drink these other 2 ounces. You out here playing. Drink your bottle. Okay? You're doing such a good job. Long story short, let's shorten this up a little bit. I was depressed, super depressed, crying all the time, miserable. Hated my career, hated what I was doing for a living, but I just had to do it because I got bills to pay. You know, I got a family, I got a new baby, you know, so I gotta work, you know. I don't gotta work, I could be at home. Sorry, y'all. She stayed up this morning. I'm so sleepy. I don't have to work. I work because I want to work. And I want to pay my own bills and provide for the household as well. But anyway. So, because I was so depressed, my breast milk started to dwindle. So at this time, Skylar is about 4 weeks old. And you know, Steven works at night. So he was at work, and it was just me and my 13-year-old at home. And so I went downstairs to make me some. I was drinking a tea, a breast milk tea. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to get in trouble on here for that. But I was drinking a tea to help increase my milk. And so I went downstairs to get the hot water to drink my tea. And so I had Skylar in my left arm, and I had the cup of tea in the right hand. Was it tea? No, I had the hot water in a bowl. It wasn't in a cup. It was in a bowl. And Steven had bought me these fluffy socks to keep my feet warm because I hate for my feet to be cold. And there was a situation before this, but anyway, so I'm walking up the stairs and I trip on the sock on the stairs, and the hot water literally goes all over me and Skylar. And I freaking panicked. I panicked. But I was trying my best to stay in nurse mode. So I know that when you're burning, you need to get the article of clothing off, because the clothing will hold the heat and keep burning. So I snatched her clothes off. I snatched her diaper off. She's butt naked. And I'm just hollering, and I'm telling Terry, my son, to call Steven. I'm like, Terrence, call Steven, you know. And I'm like, and she's crying, and I'm like, oh my freaking God. And I was like, let me just call the ambulance to come because they can get us to the hospital quicker. And so I called the ambulance. This girl acting like she didn't know what the heck was going on. I said, you know what, just forget. And I hung up the phone on her. I put Skylar in her car seat, butt naked. And I literally, it had to be the hand of God that just like picked my car up, because it seemed like I got to Children's Hospital before I could even blink my eye. I was there. And there's typically, and I didn't go to the one in my county because it was far away. I went to the one that's downtown Atlanta. And that it seemed like God was just moving the traffic out the way. Everybody knows Atlanta's traffic is so bad, but it's like he was just moving the cars out the way, you know. And I was just telling her, I'm coming, girlfriend, you know. And I call her girlfriend. I'm like, mommy coming, girlfriend. Mommy gonna get you to the hospital and let these people see you and this and another. You know, I was just trying to like talk to her and stuff, and she stopped crying. My son was in the back seat with her and stuff, and she stopped crying, but it was just like so devastating for me. And and so I pull in, and typically there's no parking downtown or whatever. There was a parking space. I jump out the car. And I go in, and the security guard, when you first walk in, there's a security guard right there. And he could probably just see it on my face that I was upset. And she had started back crying. And he said, the ER's right there. Go right through there. And so I went up through there, and it was full of people with kids. And I was like, Lord Jesus, if these people make us wait. But I talked to the nurse, and I was like, you know, my baby's 4 weeks, and you know, I was walking with a bowl of hot water here and holding her here, and I tripped, and then it went all over us. And you know, they immediately took me to the back to the trauma room with her, and it burned. She had burned her left arm, under her left arm, and then a little bit on the left side of her face. My whole chest was burned. I didn't care. nothing about me. And they was like, well, what about you? Are you okay? I was like, listen, I'm not worried about me. Just make sure that my baby's okay and stuff. And then the nurse was really mean to me. Like, she was real rude, and she was just like, no, you can't hold her. Leave her laying down. I was like, and they had given her sucrose, and the sucrose was working for her and stuff, but it was wearing off. So I was asking her for more. She wouldn't bring her more, and you know, then she did the dressing on her, and she did it wrong. She was, first of all, by this time Steven had come. He didn't even tell his job he was leaving. He just left, and he came up to the hospital. He was very angry with me. I was very angry with me. And the doctor said, oh, Mari, this happens. It's okay. This is totally normal. It is okay. And I said to her, I said, no, this is not normal. This isn't normal. This doesn't just happen. I know better. I know better. I know that I should not have been walking up those stairs holding the baby with that water. I know better than that. I said, this is not normal. And she said, well, it's not even a bad burn. I said, it's bad to me. It's bad to me. You know? And she's like, it's not even that bad. She says, you want to know something? She says, baby skin will heal before mommy's heart heals. And that was a very true statement, because it is very emotional for me now. Even now, like bathing her and stuff, I'm very cautious. I don't walk with her with water at all. And I just said, well, I'm done breastfeeding. Because if my milk's gonna dry up, I'ma just let it dry up. And the goal is a fed baby, not a breastfed baby. And so the goal was just to get her fed, and that's it. And so I took her the next day. They was like, oh, just in the next few days, make an appointment with the burn clinic and take her down to the burn clinic, whatever. We went to the burn clinic that next morning. I took her to the burn clinic or whatever, and it was like, okay, yeah, it's not so bad, but it was bad to me because she had a little blister under her arm here, and the doctor was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and burst that. And see, I'm familiar with not bursting the blisters. You let them burst on their own or whatever, but he was like, no, we burst them. So he burst the blister and gave me some stuff to put on it, but I didn't put their stuff on there, because their stuff that they wanted to put on there was like Aquaphor almost. But at the hospital, they had given me the dressings that I wanted to put on there, so I used those versus the other ones. And they healed up in like a week time. It was healed and gone, and her color was coming back and everything. So, as if I wasn't depressed enough, that sent my depression like to a whole nother level. But I'm at the baby's daycare, so let me drop her off and I'll come back. Okay guys, I'm back. Okay, so I took her to the burn clinic and started the treatments, and she went every week, but she only went 2 times because it was healed at that point. What else? So that sent me to a bigger depression than what I already was in. I was already depressed, but having that happen made me even more depressed than what I already was. Period. Like, I was like really, really, really sad at that point, and very protective of her and stuff. So I was just trying to figure out, and that was the second incident that had happened with her. Like, the enemy is just really trying to like get me, you know. I don't know, because like the first incident, I had got up at like 5 and I breastfed her and I laid her down. And, you know, they say this back to lay and back to sleep or whatever they call it. So I laid her down for her to go back to sleep. And one of the items that I have purchased is the outlet. And I don't care how great of a mom you are, how great of a support system you have. If you are going to have a baby, or if you are having a baby, mind you, this post is not sponsored at all. You need an outlet. And let me give this disclaimer. The outlet is not a medical device. It is just a sensor that tells you your baby's O2 set, heart rate, movements, and things, sleep patterns, and things of that nature. It is not a medical device. However, as a nurse, there is no way that I would have a baby and not have an outlet. So I laid her back down and she had her outlet on. Thank God. And I went back to sleep. And I woke up to a wailing sound. And the base of the outlet was red. And I also have the outlet app on my phone. So it was wailing. My phone was wailing, the base was red. And so I was just like, okay, she must have kicked the outlet off. I said, let me get up and check her. So I got up and I looked at her. Her lips was blue. Her face was blue. I freaking panicked. She was probably 2 weeks old when that happened. Was she 2 weeks? She may have been 2 weeks old. Okay, she had to have been 8 weeks old when the burn happened, because she was 4 weeks old when this happened. And I immediately scooped up and turned over and started patting on her back like that. I was like really vigorously patting her and rubbing her on her back and trying to get her to make a sound or something. I was like rubbing and patting her back like that, and she finally said like that, but then she went back silent again. Throw her in the truck, and this time I went over to the children's hospital that was in my I need to eat, y'all, because I'm hungry. Hold on. Let me order. Hold on. Okay, so she had to be 8 weeks with the burn situation because she was 4 weeks at this time. And they ended up admitting her to the hospital. And we stayed in the hospital for a day. And at 4 weeks, I was super duper depressed. I was like really depressed. I hadn't taken a bath or nothing. I didn't care. I was musky.
705.
Do you have cream and sugar?
Yes, we do.
In there?
No, we don't put it in there. So.
Okay. Oh crap. I got my pumps over here. And she ain't gonna give me no cream and sugar. But anyway, honey.
Joe?
Honey.
Honey, you said a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Is there cream and sugar in there?
Marshmallows.
Thank you. Have a good day. Let me park so I can make my coffee, because I'm supposed to be to work in 15 minutes, and I'm approximately 30 minutes away from the house. Anyway, so they admitted her to the hospital, and the final conclusion was she was choking on her breast milk, on her vomit. I don't know if she vomited it up, but the bottom line was that she was choking. And when babies are little like that, they can't like turn their head and spit it out. So it was just like in her throat. She was choking. She was dying. I sleep. When I do get to sleep, I sleep. If that owlet, and this is what the doctor said at the children's hospital, he said if that owlet, if that owlet had not went off and woke me up, then what would have happened? And he said you probably would have woke up to a dead baby, and we would have diagnosed her with SIDS. So you do what you want to do with your baby. I'm not here to tell you to do anything. The National Pediatric Association and everybody else is saying put your baby on the back to sleep, and that's what I want you guys to do. I always want you to follow what your doctor tells you to do. Don't do what I tell you to do, because I'm just telling you my experience with this journey. That's all I'm doing. I'm not telling you to defy what your doctor is telling you to do at all. I not told y'all that with even the IVF journey, that I didn't want you to do what I was doing necessarily. This hair is driving me nuts, I swear, and I don't have anything to like pin it back or nothing. Oh, y'all, this hair. Y'all see that postpartum shedding? Y'all see that foolishness? Oh, girlfriend. Y'all see it? Y'all see that postpartum shedding? Oh, God. First of all, this is a flat twist that I took out because the products that I used caused a bunch of flaking. And so I need to wash my hair. And I was too lazy to wash it. I went to sleep. Anyway, back on topic. Do what your doctor tell you to do, okay? Don't tell the doctor. There's Donna said, don't do this, so and so and so. No, don't tell that doctor me now. I ain't telling you to do that. What I'm telling you is,
hallelujah, Jesus.
Clearly the Lord want me to worship.
Come on, if that's what you really mean with your heart and not just lip service, come on, show forth that tonight.
Come on.
Come on, think about we made it through a whole nother year. We made a few days that some people didn't make it to. Come on, show forth your worship to him tonight.
To our church and
come on, let God hear you
for her
tonight.
baptism.
See, GOP, we got our praise. We know what we want to give God, but God wants to hear us.
Oh my God.
He wants to hear the congregation. He doesn't just want to hear one voice. He wants to hear us as a collective. See, as we journey across this pilgrimage to the promised land, as Joshua did.
He didn't do it by himself.
So if Joshua generation is in the room tonight,
give us something to work with tonight. Yeah. This is William Morris.
Some of us, we clap our hands.
I do have permission to play this music, by the way. Don't come for me, YouTube. See demons tremble at the name of Jesus. They
have to back up when we know who we are in Jesus. Come on, shout unto God.
My car just do it up at one at a time. Hold on. Okay. So long story short, they admitted her to the hospital. She choked on her vomit, and they finally let us go home the next day or whatever. So this was the second event that happened, and I was just depressed. And then I was back to work working from home. And when Skylar eats, she's very loud when she's I mean, she makes like all kind of noises when she eating. So I was on the phone with the member, and so she was crying in the background. Like she wasn't crying, but she was making noises. So I would keep hitting the mute button. And so as I got off the phone with him, he was like, "All right, now you take care of that baby." And I said, "I'm trying my best. God knows I am." But we was like, we got to put her daycare. So I know I changed my whole career because the main thing that I did not want to do was put her in daycare. A girlfriend goes to daycare Monday through Friday. Okay? It is not cheap at all. We pay $200 a week for daycare. So in your area, how much do you pay for daycare? Because we pay $200 and it's far away. We had gone to see this other daycare that we really liked. Really liked the people. She was telling me she didn't have no openings until May of 2020. So I was like, oh, we need to find something else. I'm putting honey on my biscuit, y'all. Don't judge me. I gotta eat because I'm supposed to literally be on the phone in 4 minutes and I ain't no one near my house. Okay. So anyway, she was cheaper. Then we went to go look at this daycare that she's in now. Now, they have a sister company that is close to my house, to this daycare here, but I don't like the area that it's in. So, nope, she does not go there. I don't like the area. I don't want to have to, like, you know, Lord bless this full about to see help this my body, help me be help this strong, be good, praise God for my baby. I don't want to have to, like, have a security guard to watch my truck when I go pick my baby up. So we go all the way over here. Anyway, what is this? This is a country fried biscuit. Anyway, this daycare is $200 a week. But every time they change her pamper, they have like this app. And every time they change her pamper, they tell us. Every time she eats, they tell us she ate breast milk, how much she ate, or ate formula, how many ounces she ate. They send us pictures through the app of her like playing, and my baby loves tummy time, playing and stuff. I can log in and I can see live action right then. So sometimes she'll be like crying, and so then you can send them messages on the app and it dings on their little tablet or whatever they have. And so I'll send them a message and I'll be like, "Can Skylar have her pacifier, please?" And then they'll get the message and then they'll go and give her the pacifier. Or like yesterday, for the first time, she slept for like 3 hours. This biscuit is so good, y'all. And so I sent them a message. I said, "Skylar still asleep?" And she messaged me back and she was like, "Yeah, she's still sleeping. I've been checking on her because she normally don't sleep this long." I said, "This is a long time for her to sleep while she's in daycare. Normally she doesn't sleep that long." And she said, "Yeah," she said, "I noticed that she rolled up on her stomach." The rule at the daycare is if they can roll over on their stomach, they leave them. You don't have to roll them back on their back. So she's rolling over on her stomach now. I said, "Oh, okay. If she's on her stomach, then that's why she sleeps. Because, you know, the daycare legally has to put them on their back. But once they can roll over, then they're fine." And she slept for 3 hours. So she's in daycare. I don't like my job. My job was another thing that was very depressing for me because of salary. It's not the work that I do. I do feel like I'm incomplete, like I'm not doing anything to help anybody. am helping, but I feel like I'm not helping. So yesterday I went and got me another job. I gotta go back to the hospital. And Steven's job is now working a different shift, so we can I'm gonna work the opposite shift from him, so we can tag team, and we can tag team and keep the baby or whatever. But she's still gonna be in daycare. So my breast pumping or my breastfeeding journey. What I did was I was watching another new mom on YouTube, Troph Dope, and she did like a real short video on the Elvie. And I already knew about the Willow, but I was unsure about the Willow because you got to pay for the bags, and the bags are very expensive, etc., etc. So I wasn't really sold on the Willow, but I needed something where I'm not tethered down, so that I can increase my milk supply just by pumping. So she did the Elvie. So on Saturday, we got the Elvie. And when I was talking to y'all earlier before I dropped the baby off, I was pumping. So this is my Elvie. This is how much I got out for my first pumping session on that one. And this is how much I got on the second one. A little less. I'm still trying to figure it out. This is only my 4th day using it, but it is increasing my milk supply. So I'll give her, like, the bottle that I gave her was breast milk. That was a whole bottle. Oh, no, I'm lying. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm lying. I had 2.5 ounces of breast milk, and then I put another 2 ounces of formula with it. So I'm lying. It wasn't all breast milk. But so I'm just gonna pump. I'm gonna see how much milk I'm able to make. I'm gonna give it a good 3-week run. We're pumping every day, all throughout the day. I do pump way more than what I was doing when I have the Medela and I have the other even flow pump. I got 2 pumps at home. But to be tethered down and can't walk, can't do nothing, like, that was just draining me. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. So I pump now way more than I pumped before with now that I have the Elvie. So I pump about 5 times per day when she's in daycare, and I still try and breastfeed her at home as well. So that is why I've been gone. I've been gone because I was so depressed. Now what I'm going to try to do is bring you guys an updated video every Friday, because every Friday she turns a different week. She's 15 weeks now. I real deal think she is left-handed. She moves that left hand so much. Like, if I put my phone in front of her, she'll like swat it with her left hand, and it'll like move, because my screen is touch screen, so it'll move the screen, and she just enjoys that. She loves playing with her dad, and he lick his tongue out and she lick her tongue out, and he lick his tongue out at her. She just laughs and giggles. She loves that. They be licking their tongue out at each other, and she goes to sleep on him and bury her face in his arm and be knocked out sleep. I'm like, well, is she breathing? He's like, yeah, she's breathing. I'm like, okay. What else is she doing? So she's hitting and swatting. And she talks a lot. Me and her have like full-blown conversations, and she talks a lot. And she loves to look at herself in the mirror. She loves it. She loves to look at herself in the mirror. And that's really it. That's pretty. She's still in size 1 diapers, but we're gonna move her up to size 2 after we use all of these size 1s. We're gonna move her up to size 2 because she is a little chubble wubble. And that's really pretty much it this week. She's not really doing much different this week than she did last week, But this journey has not been an easy one. I am not as depressed as I was prior to, especially now that I'm going back into the hospital environment. I'm hoping that helps out a lot. Yeah, as well. With my depression is because when you're depressed and you're thinking about your situation or what you got going on, when you go into like an environment such as the ER or and it's a trauma center, level 1 trauma center that I'm going into, or the trauma ICU or something, you look at your situation and be like, shoot, I'm all right. But I was praying, I was like, Lord God, just give me another opportunity to get it right. Give me another opportunity to get back into the hospital, Lord God, because this is not what the late read. And I'm just so thankful to God that he opened up a door and poured out a blessing upon me and showed me favor to be able to get back into the hospital environment. I thank God that he healed my daughter's arm with no scarring. It wasn't painful for her that I know of. She didn't cry or anything after that. So, oh, we got her ears pierced. We did get her ears pierced. I did video record that. I don't think I added it yet, so I'll probably add that one and then add this one. So on Friday and on Sunday, no, Friday and Wednesday, you guys will get a new video of Friday and Wednesday of each week. I am also in grad school. Your girl doing it. Like, I have to be doing something. Like, I don't have anything in common with people who make excuses. Excuses are monuments built on nothing. And people who tend to use them rarely accomplish anything other than making more excuses. So, I just don't have anything in common with people who are, like, not doing anything. So I'm in grad school. I'm doing really well in that. I have like a 95.9% in there because really I'm slacking. I got a paper that's due Sunday. I ain't even started the cover page yet, but I'll have that done as well. I work better under pressure, which is probably why I'm a trauma nurse. And the hubby is good. Everything going good with his job. Everything is good with him. He's considering going back to get his doctorate degree because he's already have his master's degree. So he's thinking about going back to get his doctorate degree. If he does, I support him in that. But I'm almost home and I'm supposed to be to work at 11 and it's 11:06 officially. And so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank you so much for following this journey with me. Oh, the other embryos. I'm gonna have to talk to y'all about the other embryos on the next video. Okay, y'all. I had to get that hair out of my face, honey. It was driving me nuts. But you know what? We got to end this vlog here. It's been long enough. You know how we do it here. Keep your faith on fleek, and always remember, strive to be on top because the bottom is already too crowded. You all have a wonderful, blessed week.